Hi, my lovely Geminis. How are you today? I really hope that you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That would be greatly appreciated because this is a brand new channel, and wanted to say that what I do, I pre-shuffle, premeditated on the cards because we usually premeditate and pre-shuffle the cards before readings because it just saves us all a lot of time. Okay, and I do as much as clarifications as I can to paint a full picture of the particular spread that I have in front of me. This is for the sign of Gemini. Love reading October 2023. Of course, time is not a constraint for you. Like the whole situation might have been evolving for quite some time, and of course it might continue to evolve after that time period. But we have to have some time steps in these readings, so that's one thing. Second of all, I wanted to say, and you know the whole spiel, especially if you're watching these channels, you know how roles can be reversed, and take whatever resonates and leave behind whatever does not. So let's get straight to this reading. This is for a very specific group of Gemini, and maybe it's you, maybe it's not. It's very difficult to do a collective reading, having so many different energies going back and forth, and then it feels for me that there is always something or bits and pieces for some of you, then other bits and pieces for the others of you, and then you don't have a coherent reading. So what I do is when I premeditate and address the universe and the spirits and angels and archangels, I ask them to focus on a particular group of, in this instance, Gemini. People who they want to address within their love relationship, connection situation. So originally the first row would be for someone you are dealing with. The second row would be for you, dear Gemini. Then we have the advice for you, the challenge for this connection, and of course the outcome. Bear in mind the roles can be switched. So take it how it resonates. So let us go further on. So this is when I read, I'm looking at the whole picture, so bear with me. I must say, first of all, and from the get-go, this is either a marriage situation or a very strong, deep connection. To clarify that, we have the Ten of Cups, we have the Four of Wands. All of these cards indicate a very strong connection, possibly even marriage for most of you. So, something happened disruptive in this relationship, and I hate to say that, but with some of these cards that I've been constantly getting here, I think it has something to do with children for this group of Gemini persons. So, obviously, we have the Nine of Swords here in this person's mind, or yours. Like I said, roles can be reversed. Something terrible happened, and it made someone very anxious within this particular situation, which I think had something to do with either, and I'm so sorry for saying this, but it's just how I see it. Was it the loss of a child? Was it maybe someone had to terminate the pregnancy? Maybe there was a difficulty with pregnancy. Maybe even someone wanted a child, but it did not, like just stars were not aligned for that child to be born in whichever shape or form. This is a very specific kind of message for a group of you, and brought someone to their knees. And I'm not saying that it did not happen like that as well to the other person, of course. Both of you, and you take it how it resonates, sort of this took to your knees, and understandably so. Thinking about the person, that is, I'm guessing, someone who you have on your mind. Like I said, it could be the other way around. So however you see this fit, however this resonates, then you'll know. After that particular disaster, here's the thing. I think it took toll on your marriage or this particular connection. And it's like someone is now trying to kind of make the best out of their life, to sort of focus on their goals, on their, dreams or goals that they do have, and they want to sort of, they want them to come to fruition. Now this is their focus as we speak, but it's taking the toll on the relationship. Listen, if we are talking about some kind of suffering in those, should that be of any relevance, situations where a couple cannot conceive, or there is a problem with the birth, or however this is a really specific group of people I'm feeling here. Of course, it can take toll on your relationship, especially if people sort of suffer differently, and sometimes something of the sort can either bring you two even closer together, or you may drift apart. And like I said, this person took whatever ounce of strength they got in themselves to sort of move on, to release the burdens of this situation. And they kind of focused on the other goals, the things that they can actually manifest. You might have had some clashes within this connection, and like I said, this is a marriage kind of situation. It feels like some of these conflicts within this marriage situation either made someone think about just calling a day for the marriage, or during the fights, maybe they were very, or you, how it resonates, very harsh with your words, and ready to sort of chop off heads, of course metaphorically, to dissolve the marriage, because you or them, whoever this is for, saw the other person as kind of, I don't know, either flighty or not as interested, or just all over the place. Their energies were scattered. And now the question was, is this worth saving? Like I said, there was something serious that happened and took toll in this marriage. A lot of fights, possibly over someone being all over the place. Maybe someone didn't suffer in the same kind of manner, and it created a lot of harsh words, maybe even detaching from or within this marriage, that maybe some detachment from you, them, both of you. However, I have a feeling that you just didn't see eye to eye in the sense of how to either grieve something, or if it was a loss, or maybe if it's inability to conceive. Maybe the fight was about, just there are different kind of views. You have different views of life, and whatever. And maybe someone was all up in their head about whatever the situation is, and the other person was, gathering their strength quietly to focus on maybe money, goals, careers, or whatever the case may have been. Sorry, I almost swore, which I wouldn't do, not YouTube, if nothing else. So back to the business. So it's now the whole waiting game of what's going to happen with this. Someone is really also very much in their head, much more than this other person, I would say, in their head, whether this opportunity was missed to have a child, something with the child and the happy ever after marriage kind of life. Maybe, like I said, the inability to have children, or God forbid, loss of one, whatever the case may have been, someone is so depressed, and I almost feel like they cannot even properly leave the bed. With this Four of Cups, I feel like and they're frustrated and depressed and thinking, was this my last chance to have the child, or whatever the case may be, and how will this affect my marriage, or is this marriage even worth saving now that whatever the case may have been. So was this you, or was this the person you're dealing with? I don't know, take it how it resonates. Moving on to person number 2, or this particular character here. This committed situation, like I said, this could be a marriage. Disruptive forces came into this marriage. Now, if we have the Hierophant clarified by the Tower and the Page of Cups, and this is the third page, that I got here. Don't ask me how, why, but I'm not just looking at the meaning of the cards, but also the imagery, and also I'm always open to receive whatever feelings I get from these cards. So there's something with regards to the children, or the child, or the inability to have it, or the loss of it, or a miscarriage. I mean, whatever is relevant to your situation here. It was such a destructive force. The Tower came in, and whatever even if you thought you had in this connection a stairway to heaven, with this either pregnancy or whatever this was for you, I feel like the whole foundations got crumbled. It could also speak about marriage itself, but this is a really, really destructive sort of situation that you guys went through. Like I said, this is a very specific kind of a message for a very specific group here. Because like I said, and I'm going to repeat once again, when I shuffle and meditate on cards, I ask the universe to address a specific group of whatever sign I'm doing the reading for, because I really want the whole situation, or the whole spread, to be absolutely consistent. Next time we'll focus on the other group of Gemini, so if this doesn't resonate with you, I'm so sorry, but let's move on. There is a definite disconnect from this other character person, so you should kind of see who does this apply to. Someone is really much detached within themselves, going through the hermit mode. They are thinking about life, purpose of life, who they are, what they want. they themselves are also considering different options. I mean, maybe there's some things happened and this opportunity was lost. Uh, but I also have a sense that this person is trying to focus more on what next. We have to go through that, see what there are, if there are other options or perhaps focuses in life to manifest, to have a brand new beginning, maybe even focus on the money of the Ten of Pentacles, because the Ten of Pentacles for me is the combination of tangible and family or married life. So maybe they are going within themselves, but they are not very expressive about the sorrows that they feel in this particular situation. And they detach to sort of go through the whole process of cleansing on them by themselves. And maybe that's also part of a problem, because people suffer differently, and maybe they're also trying to be more practical and focus on the money, like I said. This person could also be thinking, going through that self-reflection, and going on through whatever happened to them. Maybe they're thinking about this other person and seeing them being more focused on a lot of other things, manifestation of some tangible perhaps things, and going through different motions after this loss than you, for example, or and that's what they are thinking about. Like, how can you focus on whatever money, work situation is? How can you sort of start over more? Like, it seems like it's more easier for you than it is for me. That's also why the Hermit might be here, because it's like it's very different. It's very different, I think. The other problem here that I can tell you, I mean, this might have been a very a relationship that could have lasted for 7 years, perhaps. For some of you, there is the Seven of Pentacles. A time has passed by. Maybe you both had some wishes you wanted to for both of you to come true. And if we go back to the whole family, children kind of dynamics, maybe that was the wish. But what I'm also getting here is that, someone got, after this whole thing and situation that might have happened, someone bottled it all up inside. So there was no kind of communication, which sort of disrupted this joy and happiness within this relationship. Whereas before it was all joyful, perhaps, a lot of love in this situation. All of a sudden, this whole relationship requires a lot of work. Like, it's like, for example, if there was 7 years of happy marriage, just giving you an example, that's a metaphor which you can, and also you can translate into your own situation. All of a sudden, this 8th year is like, oh, we're in 2 different places. The joy is gone. Someone is bottling up their feelings. The communication is definitely all over the place, or there is a lack of communication. And this this 8th year, or whatever the subsequent year of marriage, needs a lot of work. And it's sort of, I think that in addition to whatever bad things happened, this is also taking the toll on the relationship, because the communication is not there. The whole situation was robbed, the whole connection was robbed more joy and happiness. And someone is also kind of is, I'm getting, becoming more depressed. So the other one is depressed as well, but they are trying to relieve the burdens, to find the courage within themselves, and to sort of focus on some other goals. The other one obviously does not have that approach. So this is definitely a device, an advice for my Geminis out there. We have the lovers here, just to clarify the advice. So it almost feels like it's for the Gemini, but I take it how it resonates, because we can also talk about this relationship as well. And once again, the Page of Pentacles is in reverse. Something with, and that's my impression looking at all of these cards. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't go showing off each and every card here, because I really am in the zone, and I'm waving a tail which is really coherent. So bear with me. It's like something did not take place with regards, and I have to say, sadly, for most of you, some sort of, I'm guessing child, something with the children. And you may now feel, my dear Gemini, of course we can reverse the roles, but that's what I strongly feel now. It can be vice versa. Please bear that in mind. You feel like someone is a little bit flighty in this situation. You feel like in all of this pain, or perhaps wanting to have children and someone doesn't want to, you feel like they're going left and you're going right, or they are in this situation not wholeheartedly. Maybe they are with one foot in and one foot out, and this is creating a lot of disbalance here. You're just not on the same page, and now it's time for you to sort of reconsider the other options, which you, I'm guessing, are already doing, going through the hermit phase of retrospection and going through things. Maybe you should reconsider other options and routes that you may follow in this particular situation. Moving on, we have the challenge also in this situation or relationship with once again the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Wands, clarified by the High Priestess and the Death. So what is the challenge here? Like I said, the whole situation in this marriage, in this connection, name it however you want, it's just going down the hill. This is too much work, and it's really becoming very burdensome. Someone might be, like I said, flighty, and it's creating, like I said, it's just taking toll on this connection or this marriage. Someone is in this situation, if not in the marriage, then in the way they approach this particular sorrow or a problem that you've been through, or the concept of, for example, having children. Maybe they do want them, but they do not want them, or maybe they are, if this tragedy is stroke, for example, in this situation, maybe they are kind of, you don't see that they hurt as much as you do, and that's creating a problem, and that's why we have the Ten of Wands. Someone's intuition is telling them what is what is the right decision to make, and I'm guessing it's to call it quits, to end this whole situation with the Death as well. I would say even I would say maybe some other things if I had these other cards here in this spread. So someone knows intuitively that it's just time to end this whole situation. And here it is in the outgame, in the outcome. We have the Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Eight of Cups, and the Empress. Then I got additional clarifiers, Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Temperance in reverse. Unfortunately, in this particular situation, someone is walking away. Someone is walking away to chase their own dreams. Now, bear in mind, it could be that one person who is trying to focus on their goals, and then they are walking away towards that promised land, and walking away from possibly you, which does not allow any space for some sort of reconciliation with the Temperance in reverse. On the other hand, it could be this other person going after their goals of becoming single, meeting someone, leaving this relationship behind, meeting someone new, to have that abundance in their life, which interestingly enough, and this is the first I'm going to show because really this is a waste of time. You see the woman holding a child. This is the Empress. This is the energy, obviously. The energy is all about abundance in a nutshell. But with this imagery, because I always look at the imagery as well, it's like to become single, to sort of not just single, but also try to become single and happy as such, and then find someone to, have this particular progress or this wish fulfillment in a shape or form of a child, but also to have the real abundance. And but either way, I don't see any possibility for this relationship to come together for this group of you, and I'm very sorry for that. In addition to this, to wrap the reading, the Romance Angels Oracle cards, I took 3 cards. They just wanted to pop out. Codependency, religious factors, heart-to-heart conversations. Before anything, I would always like to suggest, please have heart-to-heart conversations. I know in some of the relationships, especially when we talk about this particular group, the communication might be just, not happening. There is a lot of emotions being bottled up. Maybe before everything, maybe take one more try, and this is my personal advice, to have heart-to-heart conversations and honestly discuss your feelings with each other. But on the other hand, we also have the codependency, and it goes to say addictions are affecting your romantic life, your life, and then religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Now, bear in mind, when we talk about the addictions or religious upbringing, it doesn't have to necessarily be the case. We can just talk about, first of all, addictions. Maybe someone is very much addicted to the whole maybe someone is suffering so much so that it's affecting someone's romantic life. Maybe maybe the whole relationship became codependent in this particular case. Maybe you have different spiritual paths, not necessarily religious paths, factors. Of course, it could be a problem, because different religions have different outtakes on having children, family life, or whatever. But maybe you have different views of life. Maybe you just have different paths, spiritual paths. Let me just read, and because the codependency came first, and I'm gonna read just this one so we can wrap this reading up. For those who this awful thing happened, actually, I'm extremely sorry very extremely sorry for everything you both have been through. So codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. This card answers your question in perhaps a surprising way, because addictions are the culprit behind the issues you're attempting to resolve. Bear in mind, someone could have turned to drinking, someone could have turned to overworking, someone could have turned to, maybe perhaps just being focused on the sadness and depression, which could also be addictive as well. It's very difficult to leave that situation or feeling as well. This could be your own craving for a substance or unhealthful behavior, which is what I just said. Or it could be that your partner's addictions are impacting your love life. Now take it as it resonates. It doesn't necessarily have to be something we all first think about when we think about addictions. This card is also an indicator of childhood experiences in an addictive family. Addictions numb the heart to pain, but they also diminish its capacity to love. So maybe that's why we have a lot of boiled up anger. Maybe the love is going downhill because the heart, the pain and inability to express oneself. These addictions, whatever these are, become become a barrier to moving forward toward true emotional intimacy. And this is why we have heart-to-heart conversations are needed, but I'm guessing they are not taking place as we speak. So someone is twisting themselves in knots to please a person whose dependency has lessened his or her capacity for happiness. That no-win situation will negatively affect your self-esteem and your own happiness if you continue. And this goes for either one of you. There is also support available, if you are having some depression, if you're having some problems, know that the support is available. There are groups for that. Maybe one or both of you should take part in this before everything turns into shambles. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm so sorry once again for whatever bad things that had happened to you. In the meantime, please like and share and subscribe to this channel. It'll help me grow it. It's a brand new one. And I really hope that everything will work out for you guys in your relationship, in this connection. In the meantime, bye until the next time.